What's up everyone and welcome back to episode 2. So we are literally starting off exactly where we left off. So first episode we kind of got into the first kind of look, the first impressions of the game. We started pretty much straight into a tutorial where we got to drive the car around Minami Circuit, just to kind of get a feel of it. First impressions were not great when it came to the actual driving simulation side of the game. It felt very kind of unattached to the wheel, the setup that we got. Now I have heard from the developers, not personally, but I've seen some of the comments out there and from what some of the other people are saying is that they haven't kind of got that down yet. They haven't put all the configurations and all the kind of setup for wheels in the game feedback wise and just kind of getting it all calibrated correctly. So fingers crossed in the near future we should see some vast improvements with the actual steering side and the driving experience with a wheel setup in this game. But at the moment what we're really finding enjoyable is the garage side of it, where we're actually kind of building the car. Now as I mentioned in episode 1, we're currently building a Mazda MX-5, which is brilliant for me because this is, as I mentioned in the first episode, the car that I do actually own in real life. So we left it where we just fitted the engine, which is an inline 4 160 odd brake engine, which was pretty much the closest thing we could get to a realistic MX-5 1.8 VVT engine like the one that I am running now. We put a gearbox in with a it was a short gearbox, so the differential ratio is around 3.6 final, which is meant to be really good, ideally for drifting because it's kind of low end torque with low high speed, which is kind of what you want. You want that low end power. You don't need to be running high speed cars when you're drifting because you're just getting that power initially to get into the turns, get the oversteer and get the power over in it. So we left it with some of the modifications done and we are at the dyno stage. So let's jump into this. So as episode 1, I'll try and read out everything that comes up on screen just so we can kind of follow what is going on. So dyno is a place where you can check the performance of your drift car. If the car is complete, then you quickly check its power and the torque by selecting Run Dyno. However, if the car is incomplete, then the list of missing parts can be found on the right hand side of the screen. Now let's see what power the engine has. So press Run Dyno button to check car's performance. So down here we're going to Run Dyno. I'll tell you what, it'd be really cool if they actually had a live dyno on it where it was proper running. But we'll let that slide. So exactly what it kind of said on the tin with the engine block we pull in, 163 brake, 194 newton meters of torque, and that's fine. We haven't really done any modifications. It was literally just putting an engine together and making sure it's running. So that's a good start. And press stage view button to check tuning capabilities of this car. Okay, so stage view. In the stages window, you'll be able to check which parts need to be replaced in the car to improve its parameters. Some of the challenges can only be completed with a car that is at the proper level. So this makes it as kind of idiot proof as possible, I guess. It would be interesting to see if there was a way of making it less idiot proof, I guess. Like for someone, I don't know a huge amount. I'm not a trained mechanic, but I've been within the car scene for 10 plus years and playing around with cars. I seem to have good knowledge of what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done in order to increase performance. So it'd be pretty cool, I guess, in some ways. What I'm trying to say is where it's not as obvious for you and you just get to play around and try and work out what the best parts are rather than them kind of laying it out for you. So there was like a difficulty level you could change where it's not just like all kind of said laid out, that's what you got to do to get that. That would be pretty cool. But let's see what they recommend. So first stage of tuning is to increase the engine's power by changing from a naturally aspirated to a turbocharged engine, something we're looking to do on mine in the future. To do this, it's necessary to add a turbocharger and rework a few engine elements to make this whole system work properly. So you've got engine, drive, others. So we've got the ECU already, brilliant. Others, exhaust manifold. So basically, I assume we'll be able to get into it and I'll be able to show you on the car itself. So a standard manifold will go from the engine block, the exhaust headers will come down straight basically into the exhaust system and then through the cat mid box and out to the bad box. When you turbocharge car, what the manifold does then, you need it to be adapted where you got the basically got like a mounting port coming off the manifold itself, and then you bolt the turbo to that, which is kind of one of the exhaust gases, and then it comes through from the outlet down to your actual exhaust system. So we're certainly going to need a new exhaust manifold. So we get straight into it from there. That's pretty cool. So obviously we had the choice of an inline-4 and inline-6 engine. We went with inline-4 because I'm trying to keep it as realistic to my car as possible. So obviously you need an exhaust manifold to fit a turbo for an inline-4. 1200 credits. We still got 12,000 credits, so we're good for money. And this is the point here. So basically on the normal manifold you have these 4 points coming down, and basically they'll run straight down towards the exhaust system. Whereas this one here, you've obviously got, this is where the turbo is bolted. I think, if I remember rightly, that's pretty much set up for a TDO4 kind of setup. But we purchased that. Continue the tutorial to be able to buy this part. Okay, so we go back. And we go back again. There we go. So I think it wants us to do these parts first. Okay. Small turbo, universal Chinese turbo style, I guess. Turbocharger type 1. 200 credits. Bargain. To be fair, actually, when you're doing a turbocharged conversion, the turbo is actually, in some ways, one of the cheaper components. Believe it or not, I think the ECU, personally, from what I've seen, is one of the most expensive parts, which is a bonus because apparently, according to this, we've already got an ECU ready. So let's buy that. What the hell? Continue tutorial. What am I missing? Oh, maybe it just wanted us to go through these. Okay, right. Okay, so let's just explore this. So exit the car parameters window. Okay, so it was just wanted us to kind of explain this. Okay. Let's exit that. Approach the car and select driving setup from the context menu. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves apparently. Welcome to the driving menu. From here you can directly go to track. Each of the menu titles will allow you to adjust conditions such as car, track, mode, and separate challenges for each mode. Explain that's early access, experiment with different cars, setting and test your skills challenge. Good luck. Okay, do we have to do these or can we go back to what we were doing? I think we might have to run this. So we're still using the steering wheel, so it's going to be pretty dodgy, but this is apparently a time attack, so although we could probably change that, but I guess we have to earn trophies to do the next stages. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's just go into here quickly. I just want to see. So this is all the settings that we got currently. Steering wheel, all the basic details here. Everything's all kind of running well, but it definitely still seems, it feels very unattached. We could up the force intensity. Weight intensity I don't think is too much of a big deal. Not too bothered about this. Let's just see if that makes any difference whatsoever. I doubt it, but oh, hang on a sec. I think one of the weird settings it had. Yeah, automatic clutch press with handbrake. We don't want that. Steering direction assist, no. Steering limit assist, no. Engine stall, we want that. We want it to be realistic. Auxiliary challenge markers, I don't know what that is. That's that. Okay, let's see if this feels any better. That does not sound like an MX-5. I don't know where we're going. I don't know if we're meant to be going. Yeah, so it feels very unattached to the road. I can't feel much of what's going on. I don't know where I'm meant to be going either. I don't get. You can tell it's low power as well. The clutch kick in, doesn't really do much. I might have to see if I can calibrate another handbrake button. And somehow we got, what did we get? Oh, we didn't get much points at all. Challenge failed. Okay. I'm just trying to get a feel of it at the moment, so. Okay. Okay, so I'm starting to get a feel of it a little bit. Changing the settings certainly helped somewhat. it's still not attached to the car as such. It's a bit weird. There is no indication that we're turning to that degree. Yeah. Really disappointed with that. Okay, so it's just taking us back to the menu here. So it's not really giving us indication as to what we're going to do. So is that the end of the tutorial now? What are we... There's a basketball. Oh, how'd you throw it? And hold to throw. What a strange noise that thing makes. Okay, right, so we made no money, I guess. I don't know. We made a bit, maybe. So let's move the car to the paint booth. Let's paint this to the colour of my car. Okay, so now it's at least the same colour as our actual real car. So one thing I do want to do is change this. So if we can hold to unmount that, because that is just what do we do with this now? Let's put it there, because I don't know where else to put it. And if we go to, we right click, there we go, open warehouse. So we go to exhausts. We want to go for the tailpipe exhaust tips. Okay, we don't want that because that's pretty poopy. That's the kind of thing we want. We have a nice big jack can on it, but I don't know. Can you actually modify them? Can you run different exhaust tips on different cars, or is it only limited to what cars you have at the time? So if we get this, can we install it on here? So we drop that for a minute. Can we install that on there? No. Okay, so now we have an exhaust tip for an S15, and we can't use it. Well, that's a shame. That's a big shame. Okay, so I like the wheels they got, like kind of rotogrid style. They're pretty cool. So, can we open the bonnet? Yes, we can. I'm not getting any indication in the game as to what it expects me to do next. So, maybe what we could do is start upgrading the car. So, basically, what we need to do is get the right parts to upgrade to a turbo. So let's kind of go through. Let's try and do this off the top of our heads without having to actually look at any settings. So what we need, we definitely need to do a turbo manifold. So we've got turbo manifold there for an inline-4. Let's buy that. Yes. And why do I have to have? Can I not just store it anywhere? I don't want to have loads of car parts everywhere, really, because that's just going to annoy me. Can you not store them? No. Ah, collect part. Okay, right, that's fine. Where was that? So right click, collect part. Right, so we also need to buy some more. So we got that. We need what have we got here? We definitely need some intercooler pipes, but we haven't bought anything for that yet. So oh, okay. So these are all just kind of okay. So do have modded body parts. Let's go with the turbo part first. So I'm sure there was a section, unless I'm being blind, which maybe aren't other complete engines. So they're in here. Okay, so you've got intercoolers here. So I don't think we're gonna need a big intercooler. But let's do it anyway. So big intercooler is good for stage 3. Can we not just... So we've got to drop it, right click, and then collect. That's a bit annoying. And we're going to have to do that with every single part that we got. Oh, we're going to go for ITBs as well. That's tempting. That's what we bought, right? Yeah, that is what we bought. We're going to need... Could go for some performance spark plugs. Just upgrade those. We bought a turbo. We need a wastegate, which is going to be in our hands, which we're going to have to drop and then pick up. We're going to need pipes for the intercooler. So we've actually got parts for the MX-5 there. So that's... I don't know what we can use from what we have already. Let's just start. Is there any way to see what we have already? Okay, I don't know if there is. Well, that's handy. We could actually select and apply that filter. That's handy. Well, let's get that because we're going to need that. Let's just drop that because I think we can collect them all. So we've got left intercooler pipe for the inline 4, right intercooler pipe for the inline 4. Collect all those parts up. Let's take this off. How do we take it off? Oh, left shift we can walk. That's handy. How do we take stuff off? Maybe we gotta... Okay, so we've taken that off. What else does it want us to do in order to take that off? Let's bring it up a little bit. Let's take that off. But we can't take the bumper off. What am I missing? I feel like we must be missing something, but I mean, I kind of know a little bit about what I'm doing here, and I can't take the bumper off for some reason. It seems a bit odd. Why would that be? Because I really could do with taking that front bumper off. See, it won't even let me take these off. What is it expecting from me? We've hit a problem already. Let's take the wheels off and see if that makes any difference. I mean, it shouldn't. But something is stopping us from taking that front bumper off, and I do not understand what. Okay, well, we do need to take that off. Oh. But we can't take that off. Because it wants us to disconnect the exhaust section there. Okay. I guess that's why. So let's take that off. Now we should be able to take that off. So actually I'm going to bring it down a little bit because it's going to be easier to put that on there. So I guess the easiest, oh, we go to show missing parts, we can do that and then put the exhaust turbo manifold on there. And then we can put, so we did buy a turbo, but apparently it's not there. So let's see what the differences with these are. So does this tell us what our maximum power output could be with this? It's a stage 2. And obviously that's going to be a stage 3 there. I like that one. And it's a little bit more money. Let's buy it. I like the colour as well. Okay, so we need to buy a new pulley for that. We do need to buy turbo exhaust pipe. Air filter pipe, okay. And we can buy another air filter to go with that. Let's go with I don't like the mushroom ones are good, but it just doesn't seem right putting it on this car. Let's put that one on there. And that's, I don't understand why we can't take the bumper off. It's really bothering me. So we've got the turbo sitting on there. That's good. We do have one of these already. Just the wastegate. Yeah. So let's put the wastegate on there. Let's put the wheels back on for a minute. Okay. Is there a way to filter this, or? Because we've already got some wheels, so I was just going to use what we already had. There. Let's see what we've already got. We already had some tyres there, which we will change, but just for now, they don't fit on that wheel. Well, how is that possible? Maybe I know why. I know why. It's actually quite clever. It's me being silly. Now, we never took the tyre off the rims, but for some reason that's what the game did for us. So we're gonna have to come over here and we're gonna have to put that on there. Oh no, well, I'll use you in a minute. And then what's the options on here? Collect, new, open. So we need to go to our wheel section, which I can't see. Let's try that now. There we go. And then how do we use the machine? There we go. Okay, so we should be able to take that, put it on there. Okay, and now we have that, which we can put back on. So that's a bit irritating. If you take a wheel off a car, you don't take the tyre off automatically. So the fact that it does that is a bit of a shame. Is that the whole thing? Nah, it's just a tyre. I was going to say that would have been perfect. So now we're going to have to go back to rims, go down to that, take, put that on there, and there we go. So that's pretty cool. There's a few things that kind of irritated me a little bit, but I think so far that's pretty cool. We've already achieved a little bit today. We found out once again that the drifting side is absolutely terrible with the steering wheel at the moment. I'm really hoping soon they're going to pick up on that and get that sorted. We've been able to play around. We've got to figure out how to take the front bumper off, because I need to look into that. I don't understand why it's not coming off. There's something we're missing. I'm not too sure what that is yet. We've put a new turbo in the car, wastegate, filter, turbo manifold and down. We learned that if we take the wheels off, we've got to put tyres back on again and balance it all, which is kind of cool, but it's not realistic. if you take a wheel off a car, you're not going to take the tyre off automatically, so bit of a shame. But let's see if we can get this dynoed and see what it makes. Oh, so we haven't actually completed it all yet. What are we missing? Oh, of course we didn't fit the intercooler. I'll tell you what, we'll leave it there. That's episode 2 done, and what we'll do on the next one for episode 3, we'll get into actually finishing the turbo build and dyno it, and see if that makes any difference on the track. Maybe we'll sort the steering knuckles out as well, maybe kind of get some wider angle on the wheels and some better camber. Hey, hopefully maybe that will help out a little bit with the drifting side. We're kind of clutching at straws here and kind of promising and hoping it's going to work. It's probably not, but let's see what happens. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, see how you're getting on with the game, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers for watching, guys. Goodbye.